Okay, this is Aaron with the Exalted Lamb again. It's, gosh, again about 10:30 at night, and God, a lot of things are coming to my mind. I just had a long day at work, and I was just wondering if I should put this out there, but I really feel like I have to share a few things. So, um, this is crazy. So, I'm at work, right? Well, before that, um, I basically had in my other video when I mentioned that 21st, 22nd, or 23rd was when the hurricane was going to hit, and I talked to my friend Earth the Spirit Warrior, and he mentioned 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and I was looking at that in iPad Goat and things, and it was just so crazy. And so one of the reasons when I asked him, one of the reasons he said the 21st was he said the year anniversary of the Great American Eclipse. And when he said that, I was like, oh my goodness. And then a bunch of things clicked. The Revelation 12 sign and the anniversary of that coming up and the solar eclipse and things. Anyway, I will make a video at some point when I have more time. I have to work Saturday, Friday and Saturday. And when I have more time, hopefully over the weekend, I can make another video about that. There's some amazing connections with all this, with Revelation 12 sign and what's coming up on the Feast of Trumpets and stuff that I found. It's just insane. So anyway, I want to talk about this though. So I'm literally at work, and this was 2 days ago on the 21st, and I just haven't had time to put this together, or I wasn't sure if I was going to show this or not, but it was just too mind blowing for me not to share this. So I was at work. I work for a nonprofit, like I said, and one of the members of the board came in, and here he is right there. I just don't want to show you him all of him because he probably wouldn't want me. No, he said I could take a picture of him, but I just don't want to have his face on here. So, and he showed up, and I said, wow, the Great American Eclipse. He said, what? And I go, your shirt. It's the Great American Eclipse. And he's like, oh. And then he looked down kind of at his shirt, and then I said, it's today, the anniversary. He's like, what? And I go, and then I said, well, you don't know about that? He goes, well, no, my wife actually put this shirt out for me. She puts my shirts out. He's an older guy, and they do things a little bit more traditionally, probably. And so he had a shirt of this August 21st, 2017, this solar eclipse, on the exact day a year later, and didn't even know it. And then I swear, in my spirit, I heard God basically tell me that this is the beginning of my judgment. And so I was already kind of privy to that already from finding out other sources. My wife, that video about that, you should watch that if you haven't yet. But it blew my mind. Of course, there's that inner witness that basically the Lord like puts on your heart information He gives you, and then uses circumstances sometimes to even enforce that, or add to it or confirm it in different ways. So I was completely blown away. And this guy was just kind of blown away because he did not realize he had this shirt that was on the exact day a year ago this was going on. And it was a message to me to confirm this is his judgment's beginning. So I don't know all the details of that yet, but I have some ideas and some things I want to share. Other things I want to share later that are just, I think, completely crazy. And there's an aspect of the Revelation 12 sign that we never saw. I never saw. No one that I know of has ever taught and shown, and I think it's mind blowing. So I just want to show you that first. So we have basically, this was from a little bit earlier today. I had my good buddy Logic Before Authority. He was doing some live stuff, and man, he was making really good points. And I think this is big deal. This is a big deal. If you don't know about this, basically there are two possible. I mean, there's this hurricane right here, which is laying right here, right? And it's going up here and it's going up, and then you have this thing right here that's trying to form. It's starting to spin. It is crazy. And if this thing goes left, this will go right with it, and this will hit that. I mean, I'm confident it will hit that. If this goes right, it doesn't matter because it's going to hit it anyway and hit the or go up here or whatever. All these spaghetti models showing to go all the way over, all over the place. But the ones that are the most accurate in the past show it going basically east. But it could do anything. I don't know what they're planning, but it doesn't matter. Listen, People are talking all over the place about how it's going down to a category 3 and all this kind of stuff. You're missing the whole point. Everybody's missing the whole point of what this is. This is a slow moving system. Okay? Look at this. 6 miles an hour, 6 miles per hour. I mean, at one point it was going like, I think 18 miles an hour when it was heading towards Hawaii. And like I predicted, go back to my other videos, I said when it gets close to the islands, it's going to slow down because that's their plan. And then I think, based on their plans, it's going to hook right and really impact the islands. We'll see what happens. Maybe I have that off. But that was just my own prediction based on what I know they're trying to do, how they're trying to fool people and thinking that this is not going to really hit that much until the last moments. And this is what they're doing. I've seen it in other things. Again, an iPad Goat, there's other things as well that they're showing their plans. So this is very important. It's all about the rain. And so I've had people respond, being rude and stuff and different things. And they're saying, oh, it's going down to category 3 and it's going to, all that stuff. And you don't get it. It's the rain. Look at the rain totals. It's insane. Right here, just 8 to 12 inches of rain already. And it's just beginning. And it's going 6 miles per hour. That is so slow. The slower it goes, the more rain it dumps. This is a rain dumping machine. Remember Harvey? Remember Hurricane Harvey? It dumped 50 inches. It was insane. Just imagine this thing doing similarly. It will just destroy things. And this just gets started. I mean, we're talking, I was showing footage earlier of this thing dropping all this rain and these just flash flooding. It's not even begun yet what's going to happen. Okay, so please get this point. This is, and then the other thing, is here it is right here. Look at this thing. I mean, that thing is trying to build into something. So they've got, this is not unprecedented. This just happened with those other typhoons. The Cimarron and the other one, I can't recall I can't recall the name right now. But originally it was just one, and then it became two. Look at it. Look into it. Anyway, that's what happened. This is doing the same thing. They are making sure that these things hit. So we've got massive rain creation here. Massive rain creation. So that's what this is all about. It's not about how, the wind speed. By the way, right here on the right side is the biggest impact of this whole thing. Not this side, this side. That's what experts are still actually even saying. That's the rain impact. So it's hitting on the right side it needs to do what they're trying to do. Again, rain. Rain. Think rain. It's not about the wind speeds. It's not about, oh, it's a 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. It's about how much rain hits that island with that volcano. Okay, so let me show you some other stuff here. This is another thing that's crazy that you guys see here. So, okay, 1883. Now look at the bottom of this. The lithograph of the eruption circa 1888. Now I've been talking about 888. In fact, Hector hit Hurricane Hector, which is HH. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. 88 hit 8, which is also Hawaii, which is also Fisher 8 on 8818. They're doing all these crazy messages with 8s. Now this is kind of crazy. So I looked at this thing, and this is brought up by Julian T. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm seeing some stuff here, and I think the Lord's speaking to me. So here's this eruption that happened in 1883, and I'm looking for more connections, more things going on with this, but it kind of blew my mind. This is an actual eruption that just killed so many people, and it was devastating. And I'm going to kind of show what the description is here and what is actually said, and see if you see some parallels possibly. Okay, listen, I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating about this still. This is just too weird. You come to your own conclusions. This is too weird. Check this out. 1883 eruption of Krakatoa. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa in the Dutch East Indies, now Indonesia, began in the afternoon of Sunday, 26 August 1883. That date is crazy because guess what? This Sunday will be August 26th. The same exact day of the year, same exact day. This is crazy. And I'm looking for any other kind of, but then there's these eights again. Hurricane Hector, 8-8. Um, it's just, there's just crazy stuff. Now, here, check this out. With origins, so let's talk about this eruption with origins as early as May. When did Kilauea erupt? It was in May, early May, May 3rd, I think, and then peaked in late morning of Monday, the 27th of August. Then over 70% of the island and its surrounding archipelago were destroyed as it collapsed into a caldera. Now, we had the same thing. The caldera, the crater was collapsing into the caldera of Kilauea. In fact, it just made it so massively huge, and all these eruptions were happening because the crater was collapsing the caldera because all the lava had receded because a new path was made, I believe, by fracking and by Puna Geologic Venture, Puna Geothermal Venture, and a lot of evidence I showed before, they were fracking like crazy. I should have thrown in here this graph. I'm going to do that right now real quick. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you here. So this is actually scientific investigation that was done just actually years before. Okay, what I need to say actually is this is a scientific study that was done 2013, 2014. It was presented, and it was done over years, where the Puna Geothermal Venture basically injected fluid into these fissures and their wells that they created, and then the corresponding quakes that happened each time they did this. There were corresponding quakes that happened each time they did this, but the Hawaii counties and the state let them continue to do this somehow. Okay, there's a lot of evidence of this. So a longitudinal analysis year over year reflects a trend that correlates the fluid injection rates at PGV with the seismic activity at PGV, Puna Geothermal Venture. While this correlation cannot be matched each day by day, month by month, it is evident the year-over-year trend follows the same pattern, and when compared over the past 100 months, there's a correlation in the trend. So there's a lot of stuff I could get into right now. Let me show you one more thing. So they actually had 16 wells, and this is one of their permits. Again, you see, I'm not just making this up. This is real. It's one of their permits, Puna Geothermal Venture, which is, again, linked to the Rothschilds, which is the biggest family in the world. They're worth about $500 trillion, and they control all this stuff, and they're causing this stuff to happen. Okay, so they approved this well, this particular one, and this was in 2014, before this study came out, and all these details that it was causing this. You can look this up. This is all public knowledge. So what I'm saying is absolutely true. Okay, so what I was saying here was with this Krakatoa event that happened, the additional seismic activity was reported to have continued until February 1884, though reports of seismic activity after October 1883 were later dismissed by this guy's investigation. It was one of the most destructive and deadliest volcanic events in recorded history. At least 36,417 deaths are attributed to the eruption and the tsunami it created. Okay, this is, you know what, I think, I'm thinking that this may be a model for what they're trying to do. Look at how the dates match. Look at how similar things match. Now let's check this out. The established hypothesis, based on the findings of contemporary investigators, assumed that part of the island subsided before the first explosions on the morning of August 27th. Again, part of the island has subsided. This Kilauea's crater did fall into the caldera. Okay, so this forced the volcano's vents below sea level, causing, listen to this, massive flooding, which created a series of phreatic explosions, interaction of groundwater and magma. Now listen, you don't have to have that. You can just have a big hurricane dump tons of water. Okay, and there's an interaction of the ground of water and magma, these sporadic explosions. And then check this out: seawater to cool the magma enough for it to crust over and produce a pressure cooker effect that was relieved only when explosive pressures were reached. So if you can imagine when that, I've heard some people say this and they don't even know what they're talking about. And they're saying, "Oh, this could be a good thing because it's going to rain down and cool the lava and stuff." Yeah, but that's on the surface. What if water gets down in there and then it cools it and then all this pressure builds up? And that's exactly what they were talking about when it was the fishes were forming and going down to the water and the magma going down into the water from the caldera and things, and they were worried about explosions. And there were a number of earthquakes that happened because of that. So this is far deeper than we even realize. This may be, I'm just saying, this may be a model of what they're trying to do, or one of many models. I don't know. But this is really crazy. And it's crazy how the dates match. The days and the dates, it matches. There's probably more correlations here than I can see right now, but I just want to throw this out there. We're looking at two possible hurricanes, the second one possibly forming, the slowness of it, the rain. They're trying to cause the rain to make some kind of bomb, an explosion, and then eventually it will cause a landslide of the Helena Slump or East Rift Zone into the ocean. And again, I think if this doesn't work completely like they think, then they have a submarine right there ready to torpedo the Helena Slump and have it fall. So I think this is going to happen. There's just so many things that, and again, I still am speculating. I don't know the future, but it's like if any lawyer, any investigator, they're going to go based on the evidence they see. Now they could be wrong. There's and all that, but I'm saying this is very crazy. All this stuff's happening, and I was just thinking about it today. What are the chances that you got this basically proven? I think it's proven if you look at the facts. This is a man-made volcano with all these explosions. Like I'm showing you, they're injecting this stuff into these wells that they've made. I don't know what I'm saying here. These wells that they've created, and they're fracking. I mean, they're literally fracking these wells. Okay, and they even talked about on the news. They were worried about the lava getting to that place, the geothermal plant, and getting to the chemicals that they use, and it causing a massive explosion. So they shoot these chemicals down into there, and they cause the more problems. Are you going to frack an active volcano unless you want to cause problems? That is just absolute. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then with that study that was done showing that they were correlating their injections with actual eruptions, are you kidding? You got to be kidding me. So basically, that's what I have for now, and I wanted to throw this out there. And again, I'm speculating about a lot of things, but I want to show you some of the things I'm kind of thinking about, and you decide. But it is pretty crazy that all this stuff is happening. And like I was saying earlier, what are the chances that this hurricane would, in the whole Pacific, hit Hawaii? I mean, think about that. And an active volcano that they basically started, all these fissures and everything. This is just not chance. There's just no way this is chance. And like I said, I've seen in different things, like iPad Goat, like I showed in previous videos, this is not chance. Things have been predicted in that video, many, many things. But it's not really prediction. It's because people are behind the scenes that are in their pocket, and then there's equipment and technology and different things they use to cause this to happen this way, so they can start all this chaos for what they want. So just keep that in mind. And for you, those who are your skeptics and do not believe this stuff, the proof's in the pudding. You will see it. You will see what happens to your own shock and awe. I mean, unfortunately, you'll be absolutely shocked that this is going to actually happen. Over and out.